The clap?
Yeah, because there's video now. We gotta sync up the video. All right, so
you're
now
right.
that we started, yeah, that's a clap. Remember, that was your idea.
Gotta do it.
All right.
So yeah, welcome back to Clown to Clown Communication.
Welcome back.
Things should hopefully sound a little bit different for y'all.
a little better.
But yeah, so we'll see how this upgraded setup works. Yeah, initial thoughts.
ASMR. Are we doing ASMR?
ASMR.
No, I'm not really the ASMR type.
that's
No?
personally.
crazy.
Oh well.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so we can now properly reintroduce ourselves. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not watching us on YouTube, you should watch us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Are we gonna make YouTube our main platform
The
now?
visual aspect. I think we should because
Because Spotify's been primary so far, but
no, YouTube should definitely be the main because
Yeah.
the visual aspect.
Yeah,
You know,
you
you're
gotta
missing
see it.
50%. What
You
you
gotta
guys
see it.
doing?
Actually, make
throw gang
a
signs.
visual for us.
Oh, okay.
And then you can send me the audio, the uploaded audio.
Yeah.
Or no, I'll just send you the visual, and then you could upload the audio with the visual for the first couple of episodes that we don't have on YouTube.
We can discuss this later.
All right,
Yeah.
But anyway, I had a funny joke I was gonna say. Screw you, tell us. No, I don't remember my joke. You're terrible.
Couldn't have been that funny.
L. I have to.
I
be
mean,
the funniest.
nah, never mind. It's fine.
So I wasn't going through it until just now, man.
What?
Yeah. No, it's oh yeah.
I thought they were back to normal. They're not.
You guys, it's another aspect of the audio, you know, that ASMR. What do you call that when you inhale?
Sniffling.
Yeah, sniffling. Right. Yeah. Anyway, what do you guys want to? What's the discussion?
But yeah, so we should properly introduce ourselves now.
Properly? Oh,
Putting
okay.
my phone off the table.
I'm the black one. Tell us.
Yeah. Tell us in the building. Let's tell us. I'm James, the wonderful. I'm the one that edits everything. So if you have any complaints about sound quality or anything like that, complain to me.
Yeah, I'm the affirmative action for Asians and
Yeah.
Hispanic people because I'm Indian.
Yeah, you're both actually. Yeah.
And Hispanic
Yeah.
and Portuguese, so a little
We
package deal for
Oh,
all the
yeah.
affirmative action that we'll
Diversity,
need.
representation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We don't have the
yeah.
gradient going on today, but
I don't think there's anyone that's not represented here. You know, we got white, we got black, we got Asian, Mexican.
I got
Mexican, all right, Hispanic, all right. I'm not
it's
Mexican.
It's all the
I
same.
got a little bit of
It's
island.
all the- all right, you're right,
Islander
my
in
bad.
me.
Islander. Yeah, we got everything.
A little bit of Indian in me.
Are we missing anything? No.
No, we have everything.
White, brown, yellow, black. Yeah, that's everything.
We're like a rainbow.
Yeah. Taste the rainbow.
All right,
Listen to the
moving
rainbow.
on.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, yeah.
We got Skittles sponsorship.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't need Skittles. You know, Skittles are terribly unhealthy for you.
From
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
big shocker.
so whatever.
Like
pretty good.
miserably unhealthy.
Hey, listen.
Bro,
Beyond just, like, sugar and whatnot.
No, did you see the
can
M&M? They came out with the new M&M that's like gay or something.
What?
You didn't see that?
Oh no, the green M&M's a lesbian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Nah, that was a while ago though. You're behind.
That's oh man, that's
We
too
love
bad.
lesbians.
Internet Explorer for real.
Well, I love lesbians. I don't know what y'all got going on.
Whoa, what?
I love lesbians. They're pretty funny.
I don't think you can say that.
Why can I not say that?
That's like
I think
saying
we've said
you
crazier
hate
things.
Gay people.
Me saying I love lesbians is like me saying I hate gay people.
It's the same concept because you're discriminating against them based on their sexuality.
No,
discriminating.
but that's
How
not
much
how it
I
works. It's
love
like being
them.
James. It's like being racist against white people is justice, not racism.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Crazy.
I'm out of line.
I love black people. I love white people too.
I just hate
Well,
people.
it's okay to be wrong. Tell us.
It's okay. I'm wrong.
You love
I'm
white
okay
people?
with that. I love white people.
I'm sorry.
They're chill. Well, some of them.
Who? I'm gonna say.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
No. But James.
Let's go.
So what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? What's on my mind? Is
Oh.
yeah, that guy. So okay, so that was that guy in Canada, that Canadian powerlifter, right? That the dude with like the full grown beard and everything, it was like trimmed and whatnot.
No, I have no
and
idea
he
who you're talking
went
about.
and he said he identifies as a woman, and he
Oh!
destroyed the Canadian powerlifting Olympic record.
That's really funny. That happened a little bit ago, didn't it?
yeah.
No, but that's hilarious. He went because he was proving a point. He didn't just like.
Yeah, it was in protest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was in protest.
It reminds me of that how do I say this? The trans woman that participated in the female UFC and
Yeah.
beat the living
shit.
Yo, like
it was crazy.
nah, that's just wild. I won't stand for it.
Yeah,
Actually, I will stand for it right now.
You stand for it?
There you go.
Visual
Nah, but
aspects.
that kind of
After
stuff is
abuse it.
legitimately dangerous. I can't believe they're
Yeah,
okay
I
with
just
it.
abused
The women
it
have
like you
started
did that
standing up
lady.
against it though.
Like she
There
did
are,
that
yeah.
lady. My bad.
Like yeah, female competitors have started going on press conferences and being like, "Yo, this is not okay.
They're
It's
not-
it's dangerous for the women."
They're not standing
Right.
for
Well,
it.
there's a reason. There's a reason, bro. There's a reason that it wasn't allowed before.
Yeah, yeah, but like I saw one. I think she's a female swimmer, and like she was talking about how she was in the lead, and she looked over to his side, and she saw the dude right next to her. And after the fact, she found out that was actually a trans athlete, and she said like it never occurred to her that she was a trans athlete. But she
mean-
was outraged because they tied, and they said for whatever reason the tie went to the trans athlete, and she's like, this is ridiculous because I should have won that,
Like this is really crippling. I can't
It's-
stand for this.
bro.
Hey, come on.
That was a bar. All right, my bad. I'm gonna stop.
The bar.
Yo. But did you
But,
get it though, Ethan?
Yeah, of course I got it.
Okay.
Why are you asking me
Just
if I
making
got
sure.
it, bro?
Just making
Come
sure.
on.
Just making sure. Hey, nah, that's
But
crazy.
no, it's good to see that they're standing up for it though.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's about time, in my opinion.
Also, just like how. No, never mind. I mean, that's like everyone says that though. Oh, everything's so politicized. It annoys me.
I mean, yeah.
That now.
Yeah.
It's not even a political issue, really. It's just how it should be.
It's just
It's how it should, but it's made political.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah,
that's just what politicians do. So
yeah.
big
It's
shocker.
kind of their job, though. That's what keeps them in business.
Right, they have to find problems
Yeah,
to claim they're solving.
Yeah. True.
yeah. But yeah, that's the topic.
That's the topic. Do you have anything else on your mind?
Yeah.
Bro, what's wrong? Why are you making all these?
So let's talk about hey,
All right, we have that out of the way.
hey. 3-1. It's crazy. Hey, Lakers in 5.
Lakers
Bro.
fire, bro. The Miami Heat last night, Jimmy Butler dropping 56. That's pretty crazy.
Okay, but you got to think about this. This is coming out not this Friday, but a week from this Friday.
A
Exactly.
week
So-
from
we
this Friday.
would have already won by then.
yeah, the Heat in 5, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're goofy for real.
Yo, no, that's
Wait, how much are the Lakers up? 3-1.
3-1.
3-1. Yeah.
Nah,
That's,
it's a parade. It's
bro, do you see how many teams are up 3-1 right now?
and I know that's the part. Like I
That's
woke up this
crazy.
morning and I saw with the Kings and the Suns 2-2.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. Us 3-1. Honestly, I knew we were gonna win, but I didn't. know we
No,
were
the
gonna-
Suns are up 3-1.
The Suns are up 3-1.
Yeah.
Who's 2-2?
It's the Kings and versus Warriors.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I
No,
just
it's-
wasn't expecting like what's happening right now, especially the Heat.
I don't think anyone expected it. No, my dad's bracket called it.
What's happening right now?
All right, so what's the next segment?
Oh, okay. I have parenting or gender differences. How do we feel?
Parenting and gender differences.
I think parenting could very easily turn into, oh, I hate my parents. I'm a
Very
teenager,
easily.
and
Yeah.
It's just I think lately I've been acknowledging that I am a difficult kid to raise. So I can't really be mad at like the adult figures in my life for the way they handle it. It's just I'm very unique and like
But what do you mean by difficult though?
like
You a unique little snowflake?
You,
how do I say it? Like with stuff like this, for example, like we have our stuff going on, so I might not be going to school. Of course, my mom's gonna be like, "Oh, you need to go to school." Oh, you know what I'm saying? Of course, my adult figures are gonna be like, "Oh, you need to go to school."
Sure.
And then there's things like with my musicals and stuff. Like when I'm doing my musicals, yeah, like I'm doing really good at the musicals, but then my grades might be slacking. But then I get straight A's at the end of the quarter, and they're like, "What am I supposed to say to that?" Like, I can't really be mad at you because you're doing the right thing, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I acknowledge where they're coming from. I just wish they would trust me more.
Yeah. Helicopter parents.
Yeah.
helicopter parents.
Helicopter parents are, in my highly professional and educated opinion, the worst thing that has happened
Right,
to humanity.
but helicopter parents is such a vague term though.
It's like when parents try to live their own life through their kids. You know.
Okay, that's what you mean. Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times it comes from like somebody like my dad, for example, may have certain things that he wish he did, or whatever mistakes he's made, stuff like that. So he tries to correct those mistakes in my life because it's like projection almost.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it was like an adult figure in my life had went through some trouble at school, because they're in school right now, and went through some trouble at school.
Yeah.
And immediately they started to focus on my school life, and I'm like, wow, like that's crazy how you
Yeah.
didn't succeed, and then now you like turn around and
Yeah.
now you're like pushing that on me, and I noticed it, and I understand why they are doing it. So I
No, but that
No,
makes
it's like,
sense
what's
though.
really going on here,
like,
you know?
like if I didn't succeed, I would want to help my kids succeed.
yeah.
I mean, how can you expect anything else from a parent who wants their kids to succeed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just there's a very fine line between like wanting the best for your kid and trying to make the best happen.
Yeah.
And
No, it's my ex's parents.
you also
Yeah.
got to think like they're living life just like we are. So they are learning at the same, like, just because they're our parents don't mean that they're all knowing. They're still
Sure.
learning. They're still going through life experiences.
Yeah.
So even though our parents may put on this front like, oh, I know what's going on, I'm balling, like, bro, they're just as confused, or like sometimes they don't know what's gonna happen next just as much as us. So
No, not my parents.
it's just
James' parents are a bit different.
you for real.
Special case.
No.
Oh,
They-
I was
that's
gonna
what they say.
I was gonna say, what are you talking about?
Nah, that's just what they say.
Nah, but yeah, that's just that's all I really got. Like I can't really, like, I get frustrated, but then I like just forget about it, because like there's nothing I can do about it, and honestly, I can't be mad. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just, yeah, it just stresses me out a lot more than I need to be.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. I'm vibing.
Yeah,
I don't believe
I think
there's ever been a time
there's
you're not vibing.
Nah,
Wow.
that's just my default answer, because I don't want to.
you two.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this is the trick. If I say I'm vibing all the time, then when I'm in a good mood or when I'm in a bad mood, you won't be able to tell the difference. So it's like, if I say, oh, I'm doing good, and then like I say I'm vibing, then you're like, okay, he's not doing good. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that disingenuous?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad we established that.
We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a big problem that I have, but I just really don't like making people uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't want
Well, it's-
to like blast a ton of stuff that you don't want to hear. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, it's like I was talking about before. You gotta know how to make space, right? Like a basketball player. No, the people who are the best in social situations are the ones who know how to make space the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like Stephen Curry, he knows how to make the space really well.
WW.
I did not communicate that metaphor well at all, but
I
that's
suck
my
at
bad.
speaking. Dang.
Yeah?
Wow.
So
That was
anyway,
bad.
James, you have any?
So, no, I was just listening to the room because, like, when we say certain things, you can hear, like, a little ring afterwards.
Right, but you're a really good sound guy. You're
I'm a really good
talented, so
sound
you'll
guy.
be able to get it all out, right?
No, it's just becoming more apparent the more I listen to it.
Oh, well, stop listening to it then. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, my bad. Let me just... Okay, we're good.
Yeah, okay,
Wait, do you
good.
also have tinnitus?
Oh,
Can you
mildly.
Wait.
Bro,
Y'all don't
this
hear
is
that?
this is terrible.
Tinnitus
Why
check.
are we doing this on a podcast?
Well, we got the
No, that's
You
not,
have tinnitus.
No, that's not an excuse.
Find out now.
No.
Ready? Here's our test.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh, you ruined the test.
Well, screw you.
Your test has been invalidated.
They
Thanks
can-
to
they can
Ethan.
pause the video.
Congratulations.
All right, so what's the next segment?
The next segment, that's about all I got.
Oh, okay.
It's about all you
Gender
got.
differences.
What's wrong
Gender
with you,
differences.
James? We already talked about gender differences.
Nah,
Be
that
more
was
creative.
That was a different.
What do you mean? Wait, what?
We were talking
What do
about,
you
mean?
we were talking
Well,
about
are you-
transgender differences.
No, not the same. I guess it's not the same.
It's a good segue into it though, because like
Yeah.
a lot of people, not a lot of people, the loud people
Yeah, I would say a lot of people.
talk about how like, we shouldn't treat women any differently and they can do just as well as men, stuff like that. It's like the whole like WNBA versus NBA argument, right?
Is that wrong?
What?
We should treat them differently.
I think they deserve equal
We shouldn't
respect.
treat them differently? Is that wrong?
They deserve equal respect, but there's a difference between equal treatment and equal respect.
Yeah, like I personally, I love women. I'm a big feminist myself.
Oh yeah,
I believe
You've
that
seen my
women
laptop.
are just as powerful as men,
Yeah.
just in different regards.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there is something like birth, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Birth is something that almost no men could go through.
Listen.
Like it's just different, you know? We're
Right.
not made for it.
Yeah.
So like there's stuff like, and that's probably misogynistic to say birth is the first example, but like there's a lot of stuff like that. Creativity, women usually take the lead. There's a lot of stuff like that women are just better at that I respect the hell out of them for, but there are also biological deficiencies that like it's not wrong to
Yeah.
acknowledge. Like we were talking about like NASCAR the other day. Like women biologically, their brain takes in slightly less information, so they have a slightly slower reaction time. Biologically, like it's not. It's that you can still train to be just as good,
Yeah.
but the cap is a
your
little bit
ceiling
lower.
is lower, yeah.
And
Ceiling.
it takes a whole lot longer to get there. So like that's why like these female powerlifters that you see, like they're just as jacked as the guys. That's incredibly impressive because they're not as predispositioned to having as much muscle.
That's what I
Yeah,
was
it's
saying.
a bit harder for them.
They should have like lifting competitions that take into consideration of like pound for pound strongest man. So like
Yeah.
how much you weigh compared to how much you lift, or like your body fat percentage compared to how
That'd
much
be
you lift.
interesting. Yeah.
I think they probably do have it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna
sure,
say
yeah.
that sounds like that already
But
exists.
yeah, that would be crazy to see, like, you know, and even if they have like different scores for like, I don't know, but then you have to like bring like scientists in for like the women and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be hard, but it would be cool.
It'd be interesting to see, yeah.
I think so.
Because like Eddie Hall is like the strongest man on earth, right? But
Yeah.
he's also an absolute unit of a man.
Yeah.
So like, I'd love to see someone like what's his face, like Sebum, who's like really really lean. See how they stack up like pound for pound, like you were saying. Yeah.
Or like I would like to see like sports athletes, like UFC fighters or like NBA players and like NFL players, to see how they compare.
Yeah.
Because they have a different type of strength.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
You never know how that may compare up to like the lifters of the world.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy to look at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but no, there's just there's a lot of stuff like that like I don't know. I don't feel like anyone talks about like women are equal to men, but not in football, you know.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, like there's, as far as I know, there's no rule in football that says your team has to be completely male.
Yeah.
Like if female football players could start hitting as hard as Le'Veon Bell or what's his face, Troy Polamalu,
Ray Lewis.
like if they started hitting as hard as they did, then I'm sure any NFL coach would hire them in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
They do not care, you know? It's all about like how well do you do, how much money do we make? So
Yeah.
like
It's crazy. There's this girl that goes to one of our neighboring schools. She was the center of my little league football team.
really,
And I remember like being in little league and thinking about it, I'm like, dang, she is destroying
that's
them, bro.
terrifying.
Because you know girls get their growth spurts before guys.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
she was like huge compared to everybody else. 'Cause
Yeah.
We were like 12.
Sure,
So
yeah.
like, yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Nah, it was wild. One thing that like I think about a lot that irritates me is like this is just me personally. I don't like the advantages that I would say minority groups are given. So like women in workplaces, maybe they do like the advantages. But when I see stuff like, oh, because you're black, you can test lower and still get into this school.
Yeah.
That like
No,
stuff like that. Stuff like that
affirmative
annoys
action is
me.
terrible.
That stuff. Yeah, and you know what's
Because-
terrible? Or sorry, continue.
It's just like dang. So like, what you trying to say? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's continuing racism, really.
Yeah, like that's super. Like it's just super demeaning, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
No, it's especially in colleges because when you
Yeah.
bring some up, someone has to go down, right?
Right, yeah.
So Asian students, it's a lot harder because all my Indian friends, right? Like on Instagram, I'm seeing kids who are getting to UF, right? Because
Yeah.
that came out a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I have some Indian friends at Tampa Prep, and they score in the 1400s on their SAT. Solid students.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's these girls and all these randos who are getting to UF, and they both get rejected. And they have to now go and pay like 50 grand a year, 60 grand a year to go to some private out-of-state college.
They got
to get-
rejected from UF.
Yeah, from UF, bro.
Yo,
Yeah,
They
me
were
too.
solid candidates.
why?
And I'm not saying that it's only because they're Indian, but when you give an advantage to other groups, like women, I don't know if women get advantage for college, but minority
very
groups,
It's definitely a race thing.
minority groups definitely get an advantage.
Yeah.
Like I know I was told, I have a college advisor, and I was told that I would get an advantage from putting Hispanic on my transcript,
Yeah.
or not transcript, my application, and that. Like
It's
what?
just wrong.
If we're all equal, why do some groups get a
Right.
higher
Like it's still
Advantage.
just as racist. It's just
right?
Colored
and
differently.
then it's also really racist. Like, oh well, we need differing views, right? So we need to get more Hispanic kids in. So you're gonna start saying that all Hispanic kids come from like they all have similar experiences,
right. Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like I know me compared to any other Hispanic kids. You know, my parents are both doctors.
Yeah.
I have extremely different experiences, not just to any Hispanic kid, but to just anyone.
Yeah.
right?
True.
It's like saying just
So-
because I'm Hispanic doesn't mean I have a different point of view. That's assuming I'm different because
Right,
I'm Hispanic.
and that in and of itself is super racist.
Yeah.
And I personally, I hate it.
Yeah, to me, racism ends when we stop acknowledging there's even a difference. You know, like
Right.
like black businesses, stuff like that.
Oh,
like
I-
why does it have to be a black business? Why can't it just be a business?
Yo,
I've never even thought about it. You know, you're actually pointing out that this owner is black, and that's bad in and of itself because like it doesn't make a difference. Why are we talking about the
Exactly.
difference?
The other day, I was with a black adult figure, and they were like, "Yeah, I just like supporting my black businesses. I just like putting money into them."
All right.
And it's just like, imagine if a white guy was
Right,
like,
I like supporting white businesses.
Nah, immediately.
All of a sudden, I'm wearing like a white
Crazy,
pointy
bro.
hat and shit.
This is crazy, bro. Like, and I think the fact that in the African American community that we don't think about stuff like that is just like that we don't take our time to think about it from another point of view is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I get something I hear a lot is that we don't get a lot of support, and that's why we do it like that. Is to get more support to our own people. And I guess to a certain extent I get it. But it's just like
But that's just life, though. It's not going to be
when
equal.
when it's a thriving business and like they're doing good and they're getting support, why
Yeah.
still do you take the option to pick something, let's say with a lower quality, because it's a black business, than versus using a
Right,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It shouldn't matter. It should be what product is better to you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the race shouldn't be the deciding factor. But I do understand if it's a local company and they're struggling, you can tell that's why they don't get support. Then by all means, you know what I'm saying, I support that. But it shouldn't have to be a race thing.
I think especially in business, I don't even see the reason we pointed out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like capitalism is driven by the products and prices. You know,
Yeah.
it's all supply and demand. You know, there's basic principles that go into it, but none of it revolves around who's owning the business.
Yeah.
Right.
So if your business is failing, 99.9% of the time, it's because there's something wrong with your business. You know,
No,
it's not
exactly.
about you. as a
No, it's
person.
crazy. Is people complain, oh, capitalism doesn't work, and then they do things that inherently breaks
Right,
capitalism.
yeah.
Like, bro, that's
Yo.
what?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
no, it's
No,
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
But
And you know what blows me away is because the affirmative action things tends to be on the more liberal side in American politics.
Yeah.
But all these Asians, right? They go out there and they support affirmative action and all that crap, even though it's not all of them do. Like, to be fair, not all of them do. But I mean, the ones that do, it blows me away because
Yeah.
they're literally going. You're giving you a disadvantage.
yeah.
It's wild.
But I guess so we don't sound like little whiny teenagers, we should talk about what we can do to prevent these things.
What we can do? Well, we can't do anything right now.
Well,
I mean, like as a people.
As a people, well, I think there's a whole, what do you call it? I think there's a lot of mentality going on right now. There's a mentality going on that voting is not as important. I think especially after 2020, not all voters.
Yeah, I think we talked about this with Hayden as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are less keen on voting. I don't know how true that is, but at least the people around
It's
me.
definitely true. I think I've
think-
seen some numbers as like it's way, way down.
I know I'm always saying this, but it is literally the truth. Literally, like,
Literally.
literally. I just thought that. I was like, why did I say it again? People put so much emphasis on the presidential election and voting on the presidential election, but no one really like talks about local voting. And I don't know why it's not a bigger thing.
Local and
Because
Congress.
It's so important. It's
Yeah.
actually really, really important.
No, especially in 2020, local elections essentially decided
You know?
the presidential
Yeah.
election.
And it's just like people don't talk about it. They don't acknowledge it. They don't mention it. They say every time the presidential election comes around, they're like, "Oh, you got to go vote. You got to go vote." But they never say it for the local elections. They never do the same type of promotion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of times they happen at the same time. Like the primaries and the I guess the final presidential vote will happen. Like also on the ballot will be all the local stuff.
Yeah, and also people who vote strictly party line. I mean, I can.
That's how everything is right now, though.
That's
just
how
how it
everything
is.
is right now, and I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I have my own views." Like, bro, shut the hell up. You lean away.
Yeah.
You guaranteed lean away.
Yeah.
All right. Your views coordinate with something. You're not a special like, "Oh, my viewpoints are special and unique to me." Nah, shut
Yeah.
up, bro. Nah, come on.
Yeah.
I do gotta like sit down
But,
and
you should still look at every candidate though,
yeah.
Yeah.
instead of voting party line.
I gotta sit down and determine like my values, and because like I gotta start voting.
Yeah.
So I gotta determine my values and who I want to put my trust in,
Yeah.
because I do definitely have a desired lifestyle I want to live. So I gotta vote
Sure.
to help that
Yeah.
be promoted, or you know what I mean.
But yeah, the local and the Congress elections as well, I think, are really overlooked because like the president can't do anything without Congress.
Facts.
So like, why are we only talking about the president? Like,
Yeah.
the House and the Senate both are like way bad right now because like the
That
people
you need to elaborate.
the,
on.
the people that get voted in are like either corrupt or stupid or
Well, that's just
totally demented.
That's just
like
politics. Demented, like the senator from
like yeah, dude,
Pennsylvania.
that can't even speak on his own. Like,
Oh yeah, he got a stroke.
he's in the Senate voting on policy that we've never even seen. Before we even get to hear about it, he's voting on it for us. And like he can't even come up with a thought on his own. He has to have note cards so he can speak.
Note cards. We talking about it? No, I'm playing.
I mean,
Just about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
On par with it, and a lot of politicians in the House and the Senate are like that.
That's
Like and that's crazy to me. Like why is that?
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
like in the requirement to run for a senator or House position is pretty low, but we only have guys that are like retirement age that are career
well,
politicians.
that's not
stuff
necessarily
like that.
true because I mean, you get people like AOC, and then you see why there aren't a lot of young people in there.
I mean,
I don't think it's bad that
'Cause,
they're
like-
old. They're just bad old people. Like
Yeah.
but I feel like we need to have some.
Well, I mean, think about it.
Some fresher people.
Who in their 20s, besides, well, I'm going to be like super stereotyping, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who in their 20s and 30s is preparing a political career? You know what I mean? Besides like the commies. Like, and I say commies, I'm talking about like AOC.
I guess, but I guess I'm.
The political acting, because you know, right? Like, for example, the ballot harvesting, right? The left had the ballot harvesting, the right didn't, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because they have all this political activism and all that the right simply doesn't have. So then, I mean, when you're talking about young people entering,
Yeah,
you get people who
Yeah.
are way more radical.
yeah.
And I guess you can see that on both sides, though.
I guess that, and I'm just kind of thinking like it shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to have like a whole political career to get into the
Yeah.
Senate.
because
You shouldn't.
They're
but
Think
supposed to
about, like-
represent us,
That's how it is
but they're
because
not
people-
us.
think about
the-
like when they used to have like farmers and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, right, but right now to get in there, people are voting based on how much they recognize. And I think a lot of people vote on how much they recognize the name that exists there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why Nancy Pelosi, even though she is terrible, gets voted in every single time, and her district is like a war zone.
yeah.
No, Maxine Waters, her district is a war zone, and she has been voted in for decades.
Where's she from?
At some place in California.
Oh, California's a war
I
zone.
think in like LA around there. I'm not
Oh.
100% sure.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, her district is so bad. And there's actually this black lady. She ran against her. I think it was a black lady. Anyway, one of these war zone districts, she tried to win and she lost somehow. Like, bro,
Jesus.
what? Why? You look
Yeah.
around you, everything's breaking, and there you hear gunshots while you're voting, and you're like,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I'm same person.
This is good. Yeah.
This time it'll work, right? Nah.
So, what do you guys think about that actually? Because I've been thinking about that today too. Is the way we deal with
Guns?
our that included the way we do deal with our like our crimes and how we plan on like just solving our criminal activity problems.
Are you talking about the police, or are you talking about like on a grander scheme?
Police like gun laws and stuff like that. Because people are talking about, oh, we shouldn't have guns, and then it's like, you know what I mean?
All right, so
Like the overall, I'm not trying to like. Yeah.
You talking about how you solve crime?
Well, like, what do you guys think about it? Like, what are your thoughts?
it's
I
all.
think we should privatize everything. Nah, that's fake. I'm
mean, it's all-
joking for the record.
Most of it's broken in different ways. Like
Yeah.
gun laws, for example. I don't feel like we should have more control on guns because that's gonna make the good people defenseless. You know, like a pretty liberal country when it comes to gun laws would be like Britain, for example. Right.
Stabbing epidemics.
So like Britain, there's not many mass shootings. They just get stabbed instead. Like I saw these like TikToks of like you shouldn't wear an expensive watch in London because like no one's gonna shoot you. They're just gonna ride up on a moped with a machete and say, "Oi, bruv, give me your watch."
Oh yeah.
And they like cut your arm off and take your watch and run away. You know, like so it's the same problem. It's just expressed in a different way. So again, like I think guns aren't because people have had guns. People have had more guns in the past. You know, like back in the early 1900s, it was more popular for people to have guns.
Right.
Yeah.
So why do you think people are wanting to kill other people more now? Especially kids.
Because
I think it's part of it's because like it's the trickle down from the nation going to shit.
What do you mean by that, though? You need to be more specific.
Like there's chaos everywhere. It's like everyone has an agenda they're trying to enact, and it's almost a civil war because everyone has their own thing that they want to do. You know, the
Okay.
far left and the far right are always at war. You know, you always see some shit on the news, and like generally there's just turmoil everywhere, and I feel like it's trickling down to the kids at least, if nothing else, through the parents, because a lot of the times like divorce rates are up. The poverty line is higher than it used to be. I made that chart about like how much more everything costs. Like the
Yeah.
price of a burger is up 250% from 2000.
That's pretty crazy, actually.
Up 250%, not times 250%. Up 250%. So the price of a burger in 2000 times 3.5 is the average price for a burger now. And there's lots of small shit like that like everyone is just generally more stressed. And I feel like that is trickling down to like younger people like us or younger than us because there are certain things that they don't get to experience, you know? Like I feel like kids are a whole lot more sensitive to emotional cues than the rest of us are because that's more of who they are. You know, that's more of how they are. As you learn more, you start to be more intellectually based. But I feel like
Sure.
these kindergartners are a lot more sensitive to what may be going on emotionally, you know, because that's
So almost
sort of how
like-
they see the world.
I don't want to use the word trauma, but because that's
It's not
but
trauma. It's just the
I think-
impact of
It's like impressioned.
everything. Yeah,
They're-
they're being imprinted on by negative energy. All this negative shit coming in.
a huge part is like I wouldn't say community, but like aspect of life has been stripped from us for the past couple of years. Like we've been in the house, like, you know what I'm saying? We haven't been able to do anything. A lot of kids don't play outside anymore, which is I don't know if I'm bugging or I did move to Florida before COVID, so maybe that's why I don't
think it was already happening, but it's just sped up a bit.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
got accelerated.
Because Mr. Spera, he mentioned a statistic a while ago. I don't know. I may not remember this because this was like over a year ago. So if you guys don't quote me like word for word, but anyway,
Clip this.
the Army was saying that like the rate of people whose bones are breaking from like new recruits and stuff from like the same training exercise they did back in like the 70s and whatnot. The rates for like bones breaking and just injuries, minor injuries, is like skyrocketed.
Really?
Comparatively, yeah.
Interesting.
Because back then, people like Mr. Sparrow was saying, back then he would go in the forest, he'd like run around, they'd go outside, they were always outside, they were always active, they were always hurting themselves.
Yeah.
And now everyone's just weaker, physically weaker
Yeah.
because they don't have they don't do the same stuff. They don't go outside the same.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But
It is like
I think being a hermit definitely isn't good for you.
Yeah.
In
It's
a lot of
odd.
ways, mentally and physically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I just remember growing up, being outside, playing
Yeah.
seek, chilling with my friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, even I think we were talking about this like a couple months ago, how there's nowhere for kids to hang out nowadays. Like
Yeah.
our parents have to take us like we can't walk down like we can't go to the city and go hang out at an arcade.
Right.
Or we can't like there's nowhere for us to hang out.
Because
Like,
there's part of it's because like there's all this shit about like, oh, you're gonna get like child trafficked or whatever like
Yeah.
that,
In
And it's
Florida, that's fair though.
I get,
I mean,
get it.
but still, like the fact that we have to worry about that so much now for our kids is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I know
we
my
can't trust our
parents-
kids anymore to walk down the street and go to somebody else's house,
Yeah.
because you're afraid. Like we have drug dealers that live on our street, and like we've seen them walk to the end of the street multiple times.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And like it's shit like that means that like if I like kindergarten age kids can't just like because
Or even older in kindergarten, like fifth grade.
or even older, yeah. Like, I'm sure we've all, Ethan, maybe not because you were, rich. But like, I know, tell us you've experienced like going down the street to hang out with your friends or something like that, right? Like you just hang out in the street. You know, that's just what you do.
We're just vibing, chilling
Yeah.
on a green box.
Yeah. Like, but I don't think that's nearly as safe as it was anymore. But even beyond that, like, the parents don't think it's as safe. Even if it is as safe, the parents don't think it is.
I also think media coverage
because the
on-
media coverage,
media coverage has hyped up because those things definitely existed before.
Oh, yeah.
It just
Even-
wasn't as hyped, especially after they started putting missing kids on the side of like
Yeah,
milk cartons.
yeah.
Because I from what I've
No,
understood,
wait, what?
You never seen missing kids on the side of a milk carton?
No.
they don't do it anymore. They stopped a really long time ago.
Good.
Oh.
I'm saying I watched a video about it. So I may not be right, but around then I feel like there's a lot of publicity around.
It's almost like propaganda, yeah.
Yeah, propaganda, but I mean it was happening, to be fair.
It's true, but it's blown way out of proportion.
Yeah,
But even like
it's just overcautiousness.
beyond the it's not safe aspect,
Yeah.
do you really think kids nowadays want to go outside? They want to sit in the house and play Fortnite.
Yeah, I think it's way, yeah.
I don't think it's something that intrigues them. I don't know why. I kind of just like, I remember, because I used to move a lot when I was younger. I remember moving in, I would see kids outside. So I'm like, okay, I'm not friends with them, but I'm going to go outside and I'm going to like become friends with them.
No,
Like,
that's
Yeah.
true. In all the
You know?
neighborhoods I've lived, even though they were kids, no one ever hung out outside. No one ever wanted to like interact with other people.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's different for me, but even in the neighborhood, because I used to live in a much smaller neighborhood
Yeah.
for years, and there were kids there, but I only was really friends with one, and no one really hung out.
Yeah.
Then again, it is Florida. There's a lot of old people,
Yeah.
so difficult to compare.
I don't know. I feel like it's again, it's like a trickle down from what's happening with the older people, with how people socialize right now, because I know we talked about before, like everything's being more and more individualized, to where a sense of community isn't as important to many people as it used to be. It like I don't know. It used to be that I feel like we could all sort of relate to some certain experiences. We all felt that we were all similar in some sort of way. So like everybody, it just wasn't as much like we're all individual people. It's
I
like
think
no, we're all part of a community.
I don't think anyone cared. Like,
Well, right, yeah, like it didn't matter like your background, because if you went to a football game, like you talk to other people, be like, stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? You would socialize more, but I don't think It's like that's almost like that snowflake thing again, but not. It's like in a different like a different expression of it.
So you're saying people don't want to be in a community anymore?
I think it's definitely less desired than it used to be.
Yeah.
Because I know like when we were in elementary school, like the big thing, like it was like, you know, who's the fastest kid, you know, like you wanted to be liked by other people. But I feel like it's almost like anymore, if you're not liked by other people, it's just like, oh, it's okay, you're unique. You don't have to be liked by other people.
Well, I think that definitely exists, but also, and I'm sure this has existed for a while.
Chopping us up.
But people will only want to be in groups with people who are almost exactly like them. Do you think that's true?
I feel like people only want to be in groups with people they feel are like them, or at least they like enough because they're similar enough. They feel like
That's definitely existed forever, though.
Oh yeah. That's just how humans are, you know.
Right.
But again, like it's harder to tell we're like each other because we are amplifying our differences. You know.
Yeah, that is true. That's true, because I think the media, especially, just as a whole culture, differences are kind of amplified, and I think they're more prevalent on people's minds.
Yeah.
So even when you see someone, you would not want to hang out with them more because their differences are amplified.
Right. Yeah.
To a greater extent.
It's like this might sound really bad.
That means you should say it.
But like there are certain homosexual people that intentionally amplify, like for men, for example, like gay men have always existed, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like right now there's certain people that will amplify any femininity that they have because they feel it makes them different, it makes them more valuable, it makes them special. That's what's unique about them, so they should amplify it. So I feel like by doing that, they sort of alienate a lot of people. Like I don't care if you're gay or not.
But like
there's a certain personality. If you amplify a certain personality behind it, then I'm simply not going to enjoy talking to you because, you know, it always comes up that you're gay. You know, it always comes up that you're different somehow. You're always trying to point it out. You're always trying to find a way to point it out. So I just don't want to talk to you.
How is like, I understand what you're saying. That is annoying. But how is a bodybuilder intentionally puffing his chest out when he walks around any different from a gay guy sticking his butt out?
No, I'm not saying like in everything they do. I just mean like it gets to a certain point where if you constantly, like if a bodybuilder was constantly like just sitting here like posing for you and talking about like how much he presses or whatever, you know, that would just piss you. Like I just don't want to talk to you. It's not because you're a bodybuilder. It's because that's the only thing you are. There's nothing more to you.
I just wanted to clarify that so you didn't sound crazy.
Oh no. Like okay, like no, I'm not against gay people. I'm not none of that. Like
now we got to clip it and put it on TikTok.
Yeah.
James hates gay
Cancel
people.
James.
If you want more of this, make sure you listen to Clown.
Like and follow, yeah.
Yo.
But no, there's just, like it's just stuff like that I feel like is popular now because like it's incentivized almost, you know, because
it's good. It's a good. You know how war promotes growth.
Yeah,
it's like one of those type of things. Like it's good for the money, you know.
Yeah. And it's being really heavily commercialized. Like I know that book, The Subtle Art of Giving a Fuck, even though it wasn't written lately, it talked about how like in social media and the news, stuff like that, the slight differences between us are being amplified. You know, the greatest athlete of all time is being praised more. The worst people on the team still get airtime because they have like the not top 10 stuff like that, right? So all these extremes are being broadcast and whatnot, so we're losing sight of the middle 50%, which is where most of people fall. So it's like people aren't seeing that anymore. So it's like people don't think it's okay to be normal anymore because they don't see it on TV, they don't see it on Instagram, they don't see it on TikTok. So it's like, oh, I have to have something different about me. I have to be one of the extremes so that people will like me. And it's like people don't think it's okay to be normal anymore. Like everyone's like, oh, like normal's a dirty word now, you know? When in reality, like the average is average for a reason. Like it's not bad, you know. If everyone likes chocolate ice cream everyone. I say everyone. If the average person likes chocolate ice cream, fuck you, Ethan.
It's crazy.
If the average person likes chocolate ice cream, it's like everyone says like, no, I can't like chocolate ice cream. That's too average. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
chocolate ice cream is good. There's nothing wrong with liking it. You know?
Okay, wait. I'm sorry, and I know this is devaluing the value of this conversation, but bro, Superman ice cream is underrated. It's not just
I
vanilla,
hate
bro.
you.
It's not just vanilla, bro. I promise you.
It's
not.
just vanilla. It's,
It's
it's
so
vanilla with colors in it, bro.
But yeah.
I think it doesn't it depend where you get it. But
There's
anyway,
some shops that are
let's
definitely
not get
vanilla.
off topic.
And there's some shops that are definitely like raspberry and like what the fuck is it, like blueberry and some shit like that, or strawberry and blue raspberry and
bro, it's
banana or something. I don't know.
We gotta. All right, next. All right, continue.
Ice cream chip.
almost just destroyed. All right.
No.
But no, it's crazy. Like we're just losing the middle. And it's like the metronome thing I was talking about. Like everyone's trying to enact their own will. So it used to be. Here, let me give a visual reference for you. It used to be like we were just kind of wavering in the middle here, and we had a good like average of like, okay, this is just normal. And then like people try to tip it more in towards their direction, and then someone else tried to tip it more their direction. So it's like a negative feedback loop, to where it eventually it's just gonna fall off and die. But
Now we got a clock.
now we got a clock.
Yeah.
No, metronome.
Because like,
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah. But no, it's just terrible. Like it's awful to see,
yeah.
and that's why. Here, let's link it back to the start. That's why we exist.
That's why we exist.
Because we try to be, the middle ground that everyone's missing.
Oh yeah, middle ground. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You scared me.
Like we're not particularly extraordinary. We try to be somewhat intelligent at times, but
Times.
at times.
All right.
But yeah, that's
No,
That's
I
what
also
we're doing out
think
here.
people don't think about things at all, which people didn't think about things before either. I don't think. I mean, I haven't been alive that long, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't really know. But because of the way things are going, not thinking is becoming more of an issue.
sure.
It's just
yeah.
like-
The way it is.
Okay.
Or when I say not thinking, I mean
When someone asks you a question,
like metacognition.
don't just answer the question. Take a second. Think about what they just asked you.
It's like eating. You gotta take a second and savor the food.
You know what I'm saying? Why do people like hear a question and they're just like, boom? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't hear a math problem and you just, well, some people do because, oh my. That's another thing, bro.
I do 'cause I'm just
Don't
too good.
memorize the answers to the math problems. Memorize how to do the math
On
problems.
God.
That's literally why you don't think, because you're memorizing stuff and you don't know
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh my. And then people think I'm dumb because
Okay. All right.
I can't memorize facts.
It's okay.
But I guarantee you,
All
bro.
right,
All right,
bro,
all right,
bro.
it's
It's okay.
whatever, bro. It's whatever, bro.
You need a minute
Oh my
to
gosh.
You didn't take a minute?
Like people are just so dumb, bro.
Okay.
And it's like they go their whole lives memorizing stuff, and you don't know how to do anything. And then then you get a new problem, and you can't solve the problem. You're like, well, why can't I solve this problem? Because you never solved a problem in your life. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done.
Feel better?
Tell us right.
That was frustrating.
We're gonna clip that for sure. People, okay, we're not calling you stupid. People are not so stupid.
I am.
That's okay.
No,
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
that's a hyperbole, but
Well,
no,
right.
I definitely agree.
There's a lot of
with what you
there's a lot of
said, yeah.
implications in that. I think a lot of. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say it's not the people's fault because obviously, if you're not thinking, that's on you. But it's a different story when it's encouraged by the culture,
yeah.
and when parents, especially and teachers, don't try to crack down on, I guess, laziness with not using your brain.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's not their fault, but it's their responsibility.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
that.
I think people are ignorant to it, and they don't know that it's a.
Right. You
They
never
don't
even
know
know there's
it's a
another
problem.
option.
I
Yeah.
don't think they want to know either because why would you want to be told you're wrong?
Right,
Something.
sure. Yeah, it damages your ego. It threatens your ego. So you go into whatever defense mechanism is best for you.
Yeah.
But no, I don't even think it's that people are thinking less necessarily. Like, sure, people are, but it's not even that big of a deal if we wouldn't feed people so much bullshit, Like, because
What do you mean?
I feel like people have always existed that they're reactionary. It's like the ping pong versus baseball analogy. Like, right? Some people, they're just playing ping pong. The ball comes to you, you hit the ball. The ball comes to you, you hit the ball. And it's just back and forth. Yeah, in like a conversation, right? Baseball, you think about the pitch, you align your fingers just right. the catcher calls for whatever pitch. You know, there's a play in mind. You throw the pitch, and you know they hit it, and then you have to go based on that. You know, it's a lot more involved. I'm not saying ping pong's a non-involved sport. It's
On a surface
just
level.
an analogy.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
very surface level analogy, right?
I don't know why the
So-
analogy makes so much more sense now than the first time you said it. Like the first time you said it, I was like, what are you talking about? But like now it
Yeah.
makes so much more sense. I don't
So
know
like
why.
so like ping pong people have always existed, but the ball we're giving them is so much worse than it used to be because again I think it all comes back to the media because that's
Now it's a beach
a lot
ball.
of people. Yeah, that's just how a lot of people see certain things, and that's what they're being
Well, I
fed.
think the media is a broad representation of what's the culture.
What's wrong?
Well, what's going on in the culture?
Yeah, it's like a little snippet of
there's
what's
a lot
happening,
more
yeah.
than just the media because in a day I'm influenced by all the people that I interact with,
Sure.
and all the sources of information, the media. But there's more than just the media. I just want to clarify that because it's not just the media. Media is just a broad representation of the influences.
But again, I think the media, bit by bit, is the most impactful for sure.
You could definitely
Because
argue that.
it trickles down. The more impressionable people see the media and they're like, oh, okay, this is real life. This is good.
No,
My
you know
voice
what's
is
crazy?
cracking.
I
Oh
saw
my
a
God.
statistic a little bit ago that 20% of people, it was like 80% of people don't trust the media anymore. So the first thing I thought was, what the hell is wrong with the 20%?
That doesn't sound like an accurate metric at all.
I don't know how accurate it was because this was a while ago.
If we
but-
don't trust the media, if 80% of people don't trust the media, what are we doing?
well, the media's
Like,
terrible.
why do we
clearly.
still have media?
Well,
They're
because
paid by us.
they're not paid by. Well, the public ones are paid for by us.
If we didn't want to see Fox News anymore, then we
see-
the people would find a way to get rid
that's
of
what-
Fox News,
bro.
right?
That's what pisses me off, right? Because for example, with 2020 the election, so Fox News went and before Arizona's polls closed. This is just an example, right? Before Arizona's polls closed, Fox News immediately announced that Arizona was Democrat, that the Democrats won it, and there were still people in line to vote, right?
Is that what the lawsuit was about?
That was about Dominion because
Oh, okay.
Tucker Carlson, some other guys were saying that Dominion's voting machines are bad, and that's why some stuff happened with the election. Anyway,
Interesting.
That's
voice cracking.
not the same. But anyway,
puberty.
right? So they did that. Fox News did that, right? Which is a slap in the face to every Republican because you don't do that because that's wrong. That discourages a lot because a lot of voters who are going to vote Republican, they got out of line because they're like, oh, Democrats already won it. Right?
Wow.
And you know what was crazy? I saw that and I was like, I will never watch Fox News in my life, right? Because I'm a Republican.
Really?
Big shocker. But anyway,
I had no idea.
and what blew me away was people
You're a
still watch.
demigod?
People
I'm a
still went and
what
watch
now?
Fox News. Like,
Demigod?
sure, there are. Hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Oh no.
I'm just trying to figure out what's the political deal going on. What are you?
He's the far left because he's opposite from me.
yeah,
obviously.
Obviously. No, I'm registered as independent. I tend to lean more Republican, but I'm not a Republican. I
Well-
I have Republican values, but I'm independent.
Oh, okay.
He's a special snowflake. Anyway, this is not. It's not what we're talking about. But what blew me away was Republicans. Like, you remember my ex's parents, big Republicans, still watch Fox News. My Polish friends still watch Fox News. What? My dad even, he still watches Fox News. He watched Tucker Carlson, and I was like, why the hell are you watching Fox News?
Yeah.
Right? I get it. Tucker Carlson, he makes good points, but you're a smart guy. You know politics well. I know politics well. Why
Yeah.
do you have to listen to someone who's supporting a news channel
Yeah.
that you know has an agenda against you?
Sure.
Right? Like, oh, well, Fox News, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. He gave some response. It's just,
Yeah.
we have so much more power that we're just, let's not use it.
Yeah.
'Cause why would you use power that you have, right?
It's like complacency almost, yeah. We've been lulled to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think. See, people talk about like, are we going to start a civil war because the sides keep getting more and more divided? I don't think anyone cares enough to start a civil war.
Yeah,
know?
I don't know if a civil war would start.
It's like no one would go to war over stuff like that anymore because it's just like it's just
The
whatever.
war would just be between the elites.
It'd just be in DC
Yeah.
and nowhere else because no one else we're all too complacent to go to war like that.
The normal people, and I say normal, like typical people who are just existing in their normal lives.
And even the far left and the far right, like 90% of them will be like, "Oh, I'd die for this belief." But when it comes down to it, like it's not that serious, you know. It's not ingrained in their character.
It's like,
which is
what
good
do you
to
mean
a
by
degree.
it's not that serious?
Like,
Like they don't take it as serious.
It's
as
like
they say?
it's just not. They're complacent enough that if you ask them to go to war for it, they wouldn't. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I feel like a lot of people, a lot of the far ends of the spectrum, like if you told them to go to war for it, they'd just be like, oh well, you know, maybe it's not that bad, you know.
Well, yeah, I don't think people are willing to die for anything anymore.
Right, like there's not any, I don't know, there's not any backbone to it, you know. There's not any true values anymore. It's just, this is what I think.
Reactionary.
Oh,
stuff.
maybe I'm wrong. And then it's you know, like it's weird. It's radical, but it's not.
true.
There's no conviction behind it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, if you challenge their point, most people won't do any real research to refute that point. They'll just say like, oh, this and this, but they won't like actually give that any more thought to it because there's no real conviction behind it. Like I know personally, maybe it's just me, but personally, like if someone produces a fair point against one of my values, then either right then or later that day, I'll go and like look up like, oh, is this the truth? Am I wrong? Stuff like that, right? Like I'll go and put effort into making sure that my values are aligned to what I want to be. And I don't feel like anything like that's happening anymore because there's no real.
Well, because I don't think people really value truth. They value being. They value feeling good. So once they already have an opinion, no one wants to drop that because that challenges your sense of self.
Right.
How right you are.
Yeah.
So it's like when people debate. I had a friend who mentioned that she didn't like watching some forget his name, someone debate, some right-leaning guy debate because he was just looking for gotcha moments and looking to like, oh look,
Oh yeah, it's probably one of those British guys.
maybe I don't remember, honestly. It's been a while.
not taking
And she
him
was
with
like,
him.
no one debates for truth. And yeah, that really stuck with me because it is really true. No one
Yeah.
debates from truth, like for the sake of finding what is the right answer. What are we looking for to solve the problem? It's let me make myself feel good by saying I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
It is
that's
good
all.
to though, like, I don't think it is good to hear people who do things like that and then completely throw away whatever they're talking about. Because sometimes they may present something that's valid.
Right, yeah.
Even though it's disingenuous and it comes from a bad
Sure.
place, it still may be valid.
Everything has a grain of truth in it.
Yeah. Because I know someone that I take what they say with value, but I know what their intentions are.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't completely
Sure.
take that and like, oh, this is, you know?
Yeah.
Because I know where it's coming from. They're just trying to,
The only
Get
useless
their-
information is the information you don't use.
yeah. So,
That felt profound.
Yeah.
I like
the only
that.
useless information
Is the information you don't use.
we got
I guess.
12?
We got. Oh, I'm looking at the clock up here.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this has been a big bitch fest. So what's a
It
positive
hasn't
note
been
we
a
can
total
end
bitch
on?
fest. I mean,
I think that was a good one.
That was a good one.
The only useless information is the information that you
That's
don't
like
use.
we should start ending on like a piece of advice.
A piece of advice? No, I hate that. You're
No?
wrong.
Why not?
Nah.
That's fire.
This is your advice for the week.
Is
This is
it?
your weekly dose of
the quote of the episode.
yeah, the quote
quote
of the
it-
episode.
No, because I don't like that.
I mean, it may promote like someone to think about it, and it may
You shouldn't be
Pursue some-
shouldn't be thinking about one piece of thing we said. It's about all the ideas that are presented.
yeah.
Why are we shortcutting
But like,
it?
I don't know. You can give some.
I just want to leave something on a positive note. I don't want to be a bitch fest the whole time.
I don't think it's a bitch. I mean, well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave everybody on a more positive light. This is
I feel
ending their
like
week
we
on a
haven't.
Friday. We gotta leave them with something good to take with them, you know.
Yeah, I got. Never mind.
Yeah. So
But hey, watch it with your grandma.
Yeah, watch it with your grandma.
Watch it with your uncle,
I guess this has been
your dog.
Clown to Clown Communication.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video
Oh.
aspect this time.
We have a Instagram set up.
Oh yeah, we do.
Check
have an
us out on Instagram.
So yeah, hopefully we're gonna be posting some stuff on there.
C2C communication.
Communication.
Yeah, at the letter C, the number
It'll be-
2, the
it'll be
letter
in the
C.
description.
It'll be in the description.
It'll be in the description.
I should start putting that in the podcast description. You're right.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get it on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go check that out. Give us a follow. Hit us up with any DMs, what you want to see, thoughts, questions, anything like that. We'll be responding on there.
Any other social medias that we have linked? Check those out too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, hope you like the setup. Hopefully we'll keep on improving, keep on getting a little bit better quality for y'all.
For sure.
But yeah, for now, I think that's going to wrap it up for the day.
Let's do it like a.
What are you doing? Yeah. All right. So, yeah, this has been Clown to Clown Communication. We'll see y'all back next week. Have a great day.
Race. I just mighty race, bro. Face 1, face 2. Either way, I'm a face hoes. My niggas, bless us, and you know we getting paid. So, my niggas, bless us, and you know that we gon' face those. Race. I just mighty race.